Free Nnamdi Kanu protest turns chaotic in Abuja. Chore says it was an unprovoked attack from security operatives. And Union gives FG ultimatum to meet university lecturers' demands. We get the details of what the Nigerian Labour Congress is asking federal government to do immediately. Hello everyone, welcome to the program. This is Politics Today live on Channels Television. I am Sean Wakimale right here in Abuja. We'll be bringing you all the major stories in the land for you, and we're focusing on some of your top stories. We'll be getting to hear from the authorities and the defense on what is being an accusation of the federal government and the Nigerian police force of shooting live ammunitions on unarmed protesters in Abuja. Is that true? What are some of the issues relating to the Free Nnamdi Kanu protest? It's also the 5th year and the October 2020 protest in the nation on the End SARS protest. So we're getting some of the latest for you, but let's tell you that the Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC, has given the federal government 4 weeks ultimatum to conclude outstanding renegotiation of the 2009 agreement. The president of the Nigerian Labour Congress, Mr. Joe Ajero, met with leaders of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities, Colleges of Education, Academic Staff Union, and the Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics today in the bid to find lasting solutions to issues stemmed from failed negotiations with the federal government. And they're asking the federal government to immediately act, or else the unions will get to the street. Take a listen to him.
We said after 4 weeks, the NLC organs will meet, present to the organs the situation. If that's the route they decide to tow, we'll tow that route. The law even says 2 weeks, for an ultimatum. And in most instances, in this country or any other country in the world, you can have what we call white card industrial action. Like this one now, the result of provocation. We may decide for either for or not any notice.
The NLC leader, Joe Ajero, earlier today. Before we get to dig deeper into what you saw on the streets of Abuja today, let me serve you with some of your political roundup stories.
The National Working Committee of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, has refuted the claim of signature forgery alleged by the party's National Secretary, Senator Dan Iwuanyanwu. The National Publicity Secretary of the party, Debo Olugbagba, stated this while addressing journalists in Abuja on Monday. In a reaction to Anyanwu's claim that his signature was forged in a letter sent to the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, informing it of the date, time and venue for the November 15 and 16 elective convention in Ibadan, Oyo State. But Olugbagba maintained that the National Secretary signed the letters. Ahead of the 2027 general elections, the Labour Party Candidates Forum is asking the interim national chairman of the party, Senator Nenadi Usman, to engage the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, for the uploading of her name on the portal of the commission. Speaking in Abuja after a visit to Senator Nenadi Usman, the chairman of the forum, Okeme Adejo, says there is a need for INEC to remove the name of Mr. Julius Abure as the national chairman of the party from the portal of the commission. Meanwhile, the African Democratic Congress, ADC, has suspended its national vice chairman, South, Mr. Usani Uguru Usani, with immediate effect, citing actions deemed detrimental to the unity and progress of the party. In a statement released in Abuja and signed by Mr. James Otudo, the ADC's Cross River State Publicity Secretary, the party says Mr. Usani's recent conduct is inconsistent with the provisions of the ADC Constitution. The statement explains that the decision followed a meeting of the State Working Committee, SWC, of the ADC Cross River State Chapter, held on Wednesday, the 15th of October 2025. Political appointees in Kaduna State have been charged to maintain discipline and the spirit of teamwork in order to ensure good governance and improve service delivery. Governor Obasani gave the charge at a one-day retreat organized for political appointees in the state. Represented by his chief of staff, the governor says public service will be seen as an opportunity to make meaningful contributions to national development. The All Progressives Congress APC in Plateau State has reaffirmed its unity and total support for President Bola Tinubu in the 2027 general election. The declaration was made at the stakeholders meeting in Jos, attended by the party national chairman, Professor Dan Iwuanyanwu, and other key leaders of the party.
And there you have it. You've been served with your political roundup stories. So our lead stories tonight, which comes from Abuja, the nation's capital, where we saw a protest demanding the release of detained IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu, which turned chaotic earlier today. Security operatives are said to have fired tear gas, and some of them are alleging that there were live ammunition and gunshots that were heard that were fired into the air to disperse demonstrators who gathered near the Transcorp Hilton Hotel in Abuja around the Unity Fountain, where the protesters, led by activist Omoyele Sowore, drew scores of supporters chanting, "Free Nnamdi Kanu now," and they say it's a constitutional right to protest. However, the peaceful march quickly descended into confusion as police trucks arrived on the scene, sealing off major roads and firing canisters to clear the crowd. Authorities are saying the protest violated a court order restraining demonstrations around sensitive government areas, but organizers insist they had duly informed the police beforehand and should already describe the crackdown as, quote, an unprovoked attack, and alleged that several protesters, including Kanu's brother and lawyer, were arrested and beaten. The protest also coincided with the 5th anniversary of the EndSARS movement, rekindling questions about the state's tolerance for civil demonstrations and the ongoing detention of the IPOB leader, Nnamdi Kanu. Let me allow you to listen to some of the sound of what transpired earlier today.
Now. That is not a tribal issue. It is not a religious issue. It is not a sentimental issue. It's a social justice issue for us. Globally.
All right, the allegations that the police fired live ammunition on the demonstrators today, dispersing them. But the police is saying that, well, there are contraventions by the demonstrators who have protested or marched the street around the sensitive areas where restrictions are being made. So let's get to hear from the spokesperson of the Nigerian Police Force, Mr. Benjamin Hunde. He is live for us here in our studio. Thanks so much, PPRO, for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having me on the show tonight.
I appreciate it. Did you get a court order about specifically about this protest of today?
Yes, we did. We got a court order specifically about this protest and restricting protests from certain areas like the Aso Villa, the Supreme Court, the National Assembly, Eagle Square, the Force Headquarters, and Shehu Shagari Way. And the court order says protesters are restricted from going to these areas. And as a law enforcement agency, we are duty-bound to enforce that court order.
So it was the Nigerian Police Force that went on behalf of the IGP, went to the court, and this was on Wednesday or whatever? Am I right?
On Friday.
It was on Friday. Yeah. Were you able to secure the court order? Because I understand that the court was supposed to sit on that matter today, but that never held.
Well, I'm talking about Friday. We approached the court and we got the court order.
There is a valid court order from, is it Justice Omotosho's court?
There is a valid court order from Federal High Court in Abuja, and that is what we enforced today. It came out on Friday.
So on what grounds did the police want those specific areas to be isolated from the protesters?
You see, FCT is very big. You can protest anywhere and your voices will still be heard. It will still be reported by the press. And these are critical infrastructure that need to be protected. And don't forget that these are places where protests have happened in the past and things were destroyed. We have records of that. So it's our duty as an agency, it's our mandate to protect life and property, to ensure law and order. So whatever step we need to take to achieve that mandate is what we'll take. All lawful steps, and that was what we did. So we took that step in order to protect the critical infrastructure in those areas.
Is it about critical infrastructure or about protecting the powerful against the average person? Because the average person that went on the street today, these places that you are mentioning, the National Assembly, the Aso Rock Villa, all of these are places where you find the powerful and the mighty in Nigeria. Is that what you are protecting?
Definitely not. Like I said, no matter where you protest, your voices will be heard. In fact, this is the age of internet and ICT. People would always make videos and stream and make their voices heard. So it's not about that. There was a group that protested along this road some years back, and it was anarchy, it was chaos. In fact, I remember that the ambulance that was there was burnt down. So we've seen this before, and we need to learn from incidents that have happened in the past. So we would not allow this to happen, especially when we see the red flags, when we get the intel, the intelligence that such a thing is going to happen. We are duty-bound to take every preemptive step to make sure it doesn't happen.
So what intelligence did the police have to suggest that this one was going to escalate to the point that it's going to put the lives of the president living in the presidential villa, the lives of the lawmakers in jeopardy, or any properties in jeopardy? Thank
you very much. We might not be able to go into details of the intelligence, but it's enough to say that everything we did was in good faith to protect Nigerians and protect the city. So we're saying it again that we approached the court listened to us and graciously granted.
Are you able to make available this court order so that Nigerians can be able to see the content of what the court is restricting these protesters who are unarmed? By the way, there are allegations that you fire live ammunition. What did they do to a live ammunition? Did you want to kill them, or what exactly was the problem?
Number one, the court order is not a classified document. It's readily available.
But the copy that you have, you were the one who went to court.
Yes, I can make a copy available. Yeah. You can also just...
You did that in ex parte. That means that you appear before the court in exclusively to the police and the court.
Yes, and it is clearly stated in that same order that the other party should appear this morning, 9 a.m. in court. It was clearly stated as just for in the spirit of fair play. Now, talking about live ammunition, I can state it categorically, authoritatively, that no live ammunition was fired today. Not a single live ammunition. It's very easy for people who are not familiar with the sounds to mistake the firing of tear gas for live ammunition. It makes the same popping sound, the explosion-like sound, but I can say it on good authority that no live ammunition was fired.
Are you sure that all of your police officers, because there are evidence and pellets that are being picked, and I guess after some time, those will be made available, that the live ammunitions and the pellets of the police were said to have been these demonstrators who are unarmed?
Well, if you talk about tear gas canisters being picked on the floor, yes, I would agree. But I'm yet to see shots. But I'm also confirming again that there was no live ammunition.
Gas fired at the protesters. Why?
Oh, thank you very much. The court order stated it clearly that the protesters should not go anywhere around the areas I mentioned earlier. And these protesters made an approach. They wanted to go to these areas. And like I said, as a law enforcement agency, on Saturday, we made it clear that we're going to enforce this court order. We gave enough warning for these people to court order. We gave enough warning for these people to step back and not go beyond where they were, but they were adamant and they were going to approach these areas. And we just conform to standard operating procedures. And we decided to use in conformity with our SOP, to use minimal force that is commensurate with the resistance we are getting. And we used tear gas. That was the least that we could do. Nobody was harmed or injured, and we're able to successfully achieve our mandate and disperse the protesters.
Because this is what Shore and some of the protesters claim. They say, quote, suddenly from nowhere they started shooting at us, tear gas, and some live bullets were fired. Luckily, I don't think anybody was hit with the live bullets, but they were just shooting all around. Why were the sporadic shooting? Because I imagine that there are very trained police officers who are trained on how to disarm or disperse people or stop people from encroaching into areas. If you say that you have court order, a valid court order restraining people from moving an area, because it then make the police look like an insensitive, a very military-like civil organization that's supposed to protect the citizen from harm.
Do not forget that first, there was a court order saying people should not go there. Secondly, we issued a statement explaining...
Is tear gas the best way to disperse people? You know the health danger of a tear gas on the average person?
I'll tell you this. Before tear gas is shot or fired, the people, the protesters, in this particular case, were warned, were told to disperse. You cannot go beyond that point. And do not forget that their protests and their insistence on approaching these areas actually caused traffic gridlock.
Now, it was the police who caused the traffic.
No.
Your men, apologies please, your men barricaded the most part of...
You're going to say barricade, yes.
Yeah, you barricaded, you stop people from moving freely.
You were going to say...
That stopped people from business, citizens who are going about their daily business. From yesterday night, that has been happening. We monitored and we saw. You barricaded off from Maitama, off from the other side of zone 4, zone 2.
I said something earlier, that in order to achieve our mandate of protecting life and property, maintaining law and order, we'll do everything legally needed.
Including making the life of citizens of the city miserable.
Now, barricading that road is in furtherance of achieving our mandate. And in such places, traffic was diverted. So there were alternate routes to be used.
Traffic was halted, sir.
Okay.
Because that's what happened. So if you look at people who are coming from the other end of the villa side towards Maitama, towards the central, towards the police headquarters, they're not allowed to move in there. You go all the way. It will take a journey of 30 minutes will take you an hour and a half.
Okay.
In the city today. It's fair on the average
So
person.
allow me to land on my thoughts. The moment the tear gas was fired, traffic started moving. The videos are available online. Traffic started moving. So we are confident that we're not protesting and we're going about their lawful duties.
Mr. Ondayi, my question is tear gas the best way to disperse citizens?
In this particular instance, after all words of proclamation, after all admonition fails, when the protesters remain adamant, then the minimal force we can use in this case is tear gas.
What about water canisters? Are you not able to... Water cannons? And I thought that, I saw a few of them, the very large, big ones, or you are out of water. You
are going to ask the same question, that is water cannon the best way to disperse citizens?
I'm saying water could be fairer than smoking people. Are they animals?
Like we said, this is standard operating procedure. It's not a Nigerian thing.
What about water? I'm saying what about water? Well, you're not able to use water, or you just hate the faces of those who are protesting.
Now,
what exactly
you make it
it's a police force standing for the people or standing against the people?
You make it sound like tear gas is a biological weapon or weapon of mass destruction. No, this is approved.
But it's harmful to the health of the
This is approved, and this is used by police forces around the world. We are not using anything illegal. We are not using anything unlawful. And like I said, this comes after a series of warnings. And mind you, immediately the warning was given that this is going to be done, the people that had health concern and that loved themselves left that place. So this was for the unruly...
So there was a police officer who announced that
this was for this was that standard procedure. We always do that. And this for the unruly and adamant protesters.
Well, give us an understanding of the arrests that were made. Why? You arrested Nnamdi Kanu's brother?
Emmanuel Kanu, yes.
And you arrested his lawyer too?
Barrister Aloy, yes.
Why?
Because they insisted on making way to the restricted areas. And not just 2 of them, 6 others were also arrested around Transcorp for this same reason. So we arrested a total of 8 of them. They are currently at the state CID. And once we conclude our investigation, just like we said in our statement, that anybody who violated that court order would be arrested, diligently investigated, and prosecuted. So once we conclude that, which we should tonight, then they will be prosecuted immediately. In less than 24 hours, they will be facing the court.
So now, people are going to be prosecuted because they are exercising their constitutional rights.
No, you are getting it wrong.
The question is that, are they aware? Will any citizen be prosecuted for an offense he or she is not aware of? And that's why we're asking, where is the court order? How many? You went to court ex parte to get the court order, but you never made it available to Nigerians.
They were arrested not for carrying out their lawful duties, but for contravening a valid court order.
A court order that was not made available to the public.
The court order is there, and in our statement on Saturday, we mentioned the court, we mentioned the judge, we mentioned the court order number, we mentioned everything. We were so plain, we made it clear, and we also warned that anybody that contravened that court order would be arrested. We made it clear.
So, is the police aware of a possible optics of what happened today? Whether or not the police is on the side of the people or on the side against the people? Is police aware and managing these optics?
Well, I don't think it's as bad as you make it look.
Is it me that make it look?
No,
as
you're painting. I don't think it's as bad as you are painting. A couple of, in fact, do you know, this happened in Abuja, and one man carried a placard in Lagos and a few people in Abia State, and that's all, no other states. So these people came out and we tried our best. We managed the situation. I think we deserve commendation for this.
In fact, we understand that the IG actually rushed back to Nigeria from an event he was attending in the US.
Because of this? No, far from it.
Why did he?
Far from it.
But abruptly, he was supposed to be at that conference.
Far from it. The IG was in Denver, Colorado for the opening ceremony, for the IACP. He attended the opening ceremony, and he had to come back for other pressing security matters. See, I'll tell you this. The IG has carefully selected sound officers, operationally sound officers to man strategic positions within the force, such that even if he's not in the country, if he's not around, the police will do what it's supposed to do to a very large extent. The IG does not micromanage people. And do not forget that his PhD thesis is in protests management. So he's an expert in this. There are standard operating procedures he has handed down to all his commissioners of police. So even if he's not in the country, things we move as they should. But he's back in the country, not for this, but for other pressing security concerns. But it's good that he's on ground so that he can say things for himself.
Would it be about the coup? Did he rush now also because of the coup?
Now, the defense headquarters has debunked that there was a coup, but that's ordinarily should be enough to make an IG come back to the country, to ensure that there is no anarchy, there is no breakdown of law and order, and there is absolute peace.
I mean, today coincides also with the 5th year after the October 20, 2020 NSAS protest that got a global. Everyone, our closing moment with the police public relations officer, Mr. Benjamin Hundeyi. On a final note, my question is, there are those who will feel maybe the Nigerian police force could have done better in terms of making Nigerians understand that it's standing on the side of the Nigerian people, not against them.
Yes, that actually was the opening statement, the first paragraph of the statement we issued 2 days ago. We made it clear that we are on the side of the people. We appreciate that they have the right to protest and go on peaceful procession. But be that as it may, we will not allow them, that's protesters, trample on the rights of freedom of movement of other Nigerians. So Nigerians know that, and I can assure you that many Nigerians have actually commended us for handling this well today.
Is it not the role of the police to be able to help guide the traffic, in a way, because you cannot vitiate the right of constitutional right of a citizen based on a court order. A court order is lower in terms of the order in our laws to the constitutional right of a citizen.
Now, let's set aside the court order. We have less than 100 people protesting, trying to block the road, and we have thousands, hundreds of thousands of other people who want to move, and they also have the right to move, and just a few people want to hold them to ransom. The question would be, where is the police? Why is the police allowing this to happen? And we went there, we showed up and made sure that there was freedom of movement. People were able to get to their destinations peacefully. That's simply what we did.
Because some of the roads that you barricaded and blocked, there are hospitals there. Critical people who wanted to go to the hospital legitimately were bad.
I hope you didn't get any reports that we stopped ambulance. I hope you didn't get that.
No, there are people in their own vehicles who are not allowed to move past those areas.
Like I said, the police did not block the road. Yes, we barricaded the road for security reasons, and alternate routes were made available. There were diversions.
All right, Mr. Benjamin Hundeyi, thank you so much, Public Relations Officer of the Nigerian Police Force. Should this protest continue tomorrow, are you going to go with the same modus operandi?
Oh, definitely. We've not wound down our security architecture. They are still there. They are there for pre-protest, protest, and post-protest. So they are there to ensure that Nigerians continue to enjoy absolute peace, law, and order.
Right. Thanks so much indeed for your time tonight.
Appreciate it.
We'll take a break, everyone, but when we return, we'll be joined by a former presidential candidate, Chief Dan Iwuanyanwu. The politics of the protest and the Southeast politics and security get our attention after this break, everyone. Join us again. Everyone for joining us. So let's take the conversation further and look at it from a different prism. I'm being joined by Chief Dan Iwuanyanwu, a former presidential candidate and the national chairman of the Zenith Labour Party. Is live for us here in our Abuja studio. Many thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me, Shehu.
The Free Nnamdi Kanu protest and the agitation for the federal government to release Nnamdi Kanu, how do you view it?
It is a legitimate demand. And I support the protest. Many Nigerians are in support of the protest. And my position on this has been clear, even from when President Buhari forcefully took him away from Kenya. As far as I'm concerned, Nnamdi Kanu did not do anything that will warrant his detention for 5 years. Nnamdi Kanu, there is no evidence to show that he killed anybody. There's no evidence to show that he carried arms.
That's for the court to determine.
And
that is in trial.
But if the courts are keeping somebody for 5 years and they have not been able to try him,
is that illegitimate?
Of course, the court. You can see. Hasn't the court decided on this matter when it came to the issue of his bail before the Court of Appeal? He was discharged and acquitted. So as far as I'm concerned, you started with the court. Shehu, I, like most Nigerians, are not persuaded in any manner with what is going in the courts. And I will not also be persuaded, whatever judgment, either way or the other, that comes out from the courts. Because there is a deliberate act, and I say so when President Buhari was in office. There are people who have committed heinous crimes in this country. They have murdered people, they have kidnapped people, they have raped women, they have killed children, they have done all sorts of things. There are people aiding and abetting them. There are people who have gone to their domain, talking with them. We are aware of helicopters dropping food, dropping ammunition in the bush, which of course our security had the capacity to trap. Shehu, Nnamdi Kanu did not do any of those. But he's in detention. What was the cause? And I told President Buhari, it was because of the ancient hatred you have against the Igbos. I told President Buhari when he was in office, my position has not changed. But why I'm worried, you're looking at me. I told him you had ancient hatred against the Igbos. That was why you kept Nnamdi Kanu there. If he was from another tribe, Nnamdi Kanu will not be there.
Are you dispassionate about this, or you are speaking because you are of the same extraction?
Good.
Because there are those who oppose, who don't have the same view as you have it tonight about the situation. There are those who ask questions about those who have taken opportunists on the situation in the South is based on the order, the radio broadcasts, the publications, and the statements that are being made online. You know what has happened with the man in Finland that has been prosecuted. As soon as that man was being prosecuted, the sit-at-home order and some of the mayhem being unleashed by opportunists of the agitation of Biafra stopped. Southeast started experiencing under this government some level of peace.
Shehu. What I'm saying, I said it to a sitting president. Whether people agree or not, Shehu, you know those that loves you. You know those who hate you. It's not because I'm Igbo. I would have taken the same position if a Yoruba man or Fulani man was involved. My patriotism has no limitations.
What do you think that the government of the day... So apology. What do you think the government of the day who felt that a region consisting of 5 states is under consistent attack and is in distress and is insecure based on the action and the statement of one person? What do you think they could have done differently?
You see the matter? President Tinubu did not cause this problem. He inherited it. President Tinubu has no hand in the detention of Nnamdi Kanu. But what is curious is why he has not taken steps to get him out. He has no hand. He didn't take him there.
As a lawyer, you think how easy would that be to establish a non-policy on a matter of national security?
What is the national security? These are things that people manufacture to justify their positions.
Nnamdi Kanu is facing one of the highest criminal offenses
and that is what?
Terrorism charges against him.
Can you define terrorism?
No, that's what for the courts to tell.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And all the others, all those people that did all the things I aforementioned, none was charged of terrorism. I have explained to you, Nnamdi Kanu has the right to demand peacefully for anything for his people. I am not saying because I'm from there. And that was why I have said it before you. President Tinubu, get him out of this. He has no hand in it. But he's in a position to rectify it. He knew the truth. Why has he not done so? You see, people are talking about some interest group. People are saying, don't release him. It will disbalance this, disbalance that. The truth is that Nnamdi Kanu, as we said that time to President Buhari, go and discuss with Nnamdi Kanu. You don't have to look for him in this manner. This is somebody, look at what is happening today. He did not talk to anybody. If he was outside, they say he has sponsored everybody. Okay. Showore that is taking this thing on his own now, based on his struggles. He's not an Igbo. You were not able to tell Showore this because he's not Igbo. If it was Dan Iwuanyanwu, you say, hey, he has come. So we should forget about all these mundane issues and considerations. What is bad is bad. What is not good must be condemned no matter who is involved. President Tinubu, yes, we agree there are some people in the Southeast who do not want Nnamdi Kanu out.
Really? There are people like that?
I can say it authoritatively.
Who are those?
There are some top businessmen who are involved in businesses in Abuja, oil and all that. There are some top politicians who are of the view, and which is correct, that if Nnamdi Kanu comes today, there are people whose political career will come to an end permanently without him saying a word. Nnamdi Kanu has been loved by the people. It's like when they were chasing Fubara. You heard me say so here. I told President Tinubu, If the issue about 2027, the person to do business with is Mubarak. Are you seeing what is happening there now? They have loved him, they have loved him. Organic support. Nnamdi Kanu need not talk to anybody. That was why I'm sure that is the pressure that the president is having. But the president is number one. He is the president of Nigeria. And he's the only person that can say, stop, it will stop. You don't have to take everything that everybody puts to you, hook, line, and sinker. When the issue started with this insecurity in the southeast, they raided the prison. We came out to say, no, this was not our deeds. Those people were imported. Security came back to realize it. But what happened next? Because they have been exposed, they decided to recruit urchins, non-educated people, people that are not skilled. Locals started training them.
Are you an IPOB apologist?
No. Look.
I
don't expect you to.
Are you a believer?
No. I don't expect you to come to that question because you know that I believe in Nigeria.
But I'm asking you, you might have your. You might have
no.
You might have apology for the struggle of Biafra and what IPOB stands for.
I am an open book. You will always know where I am.
You know the history of IPOB.
I
right?
believe.
You know the history of IPOB.
What's the history?
There are those who say legitimately it started off as a peaceful intentions or right about the agitation of the Igbo.
What brought about IPOB?
But what happened?
No, what brought about IPOB? Chenwu, you have a region that has been marginalized. They've been crying for marginalization. It wasn't during the time of President Buhari. President Tinubu has tried to do one or two things, put some infrastructure, move some money there. You say you don't want them. Chenwu, you say you don't like me. You say you don't want me. Okay, allow me to go home. You say I will not go. One must give way. It's either you bring me at the center or you let me go. We should stop pretending in this country. That is what you are talking about. The people are saying they are marginalized.
What is marginalization? Can you mention one thing that...
Let's look at your dictionary.
No.
Chenwu, you know.
In practical terms.
I'm coming. Yeah. There are no federal presence in the southeast. The little we are having now is under Tinubu. Cease. None. No good roads, no infrastructure. You borrowed money. President Buhari borrowed money to build rails up to Mali, another country. None crossed the southeast. But we are paying the loan back. We are part and parcel of repaying the loan. And you say it is justice. They have the right to protest. You can't beat and flog a child. You still stop the child from crying.
What would have been
the child must cry.
What would have been the best way to handle that situation?
The best way is for President Tinubu to sit down, look at the whole thing, find a way to balance these things, bring in Nnamdi Kanu out, go and do business with Nnamdi Kanu. Nobody else can do that, apart from the president. If you subdue this one, expect it again and again and again. You cannot run away from it. Nnamdi Kanu committed no crime. Nnamdi Kanu did nothing. He did not kill anybody. He did not move arms.
It's not for you to decide. The
matter
is in court.
The truth is naked. I don't need to. The truth is naked.
It is not for you. As a lawyer,
let me tell you.
You are a servant before the temple of justice.
Let me tell you.
And you know what it means when a matter is before the court. You cannot say Nnamdi Kanu did nothing when the court is still assessing and trying the matter.
It will reach.
No, you are wrong. You are wrong. You are wrong. On that note, you are wrong, sir. No, sir. You are wrong on the note to say.
That is your view.
It's a matter of law.
It will get to this.
It's subjudice for you to say.
In this country,
yes, sir.
When people will stop listening to what you are talking about. Let me tell you an experience I had in 1992. I was in NIPS. Part of the programs in NIPS is you have local tours, African tours, and outside tour. My group went to Kano, Imo, then Cameroon, then Brazil. Was it Brazil? Brazil, yes. When we got to Cameroon, the chief of army staff, General Iwuanyanwu, was given instruction by this Pobia on certain things. Commander-in-chief, He said, Mr. President, this order is illegal. I will not obey it. In Cameroon. And I'm ready to take the consequences. That thing was boiling before we left for our foreign tours. It will get to a point in this country, unless we redress judiciary, we redress what we are doing to Nigerian people will start taking the laws into their hands.
Just for a moment, sir. The reason why I said you're wrong, sir, and you are a very senior lawyer, you know that when a matter is yet to be decided before the court, you do not take it out of the mouth of justice. Allow the court to have decided the matter. And that's why I said this is not a court of law.
The court has decided the issue of Nnamdi Kanu.
Just a moment.
The court has decided.
The court has not freed Nnamdi Kanu.
The court has freed Nnamdi, the Court of Appeal.
Just a moment, sir. The court has not decided on the trial of Nnamdi Kanu. It's still in process. The man is still under detention, and the matter is before the court. And I'm saying, as a lawyer, you know that it is not right. It's sub judice for you to now determine for the court on television what the court is still trying at the moment.
Let me tell you. You can do what you like. You can say what you like. I have the right to say I don't believe in what you are doing. It is my inalienable right. You can even sentence me. It is my right. When I sue that everything has been compromised in this country. When nobody can get justice. Is it in election matters? And that's why there's no development. People are no longer having confidence in what should have given them the hope that tomorrow will be better. Nnamdi Kanu's case is a case that President Tinubu must address. All these things that are happening today, they're not necessary.
How do you think he will address it? Is it a political or judicial manner in which he will address it? How?
You see, even from the time President Buhari was here, leaders of thought in Igbo land met him. He dismissed it, that it is in court. Governors, 5 governors, led by Hope Uzodinma, whom they are accusing now, erroneously. They don't know the job these people are making to get this man out. But you see, people write nonsense in the media.
So Hope Uzodinma is at the forefront of fighting for Nnamdi Kanu?
Hope Uzodinma, OT, these are the 2 people I know very well.
Abaribe?
No, I'm talking of governors.
Okay.
So, but there are people, just like the job Hope is doing in people will come and write nonsense. Imo now is Dubai. But people will go to internet. Those who have not come home for more than 5 years, they will read down there and write. They don't know the effort these people are making. They say they have told Tinubu not to release him. They told me not to. Where are your facts? My intel has told me about the governors, and I have told you about politicians and businessmen who are afraid of Nnamdi Kanu's release. Let the president. I told you, Shehu, in this station, if we have decided not to release Nnamdi Kanu, bring his body to Ego Square. Let us use him for barbecue. Let his enemies come and chop from the meat so that we can close this matter permanently.
If you were President Tinubu and you decide to release Nnamdi, how would you go about it?
I will call the Igbo leaders, call the governors, take Nnamdi Kanu, file a knowledge protocol, hand Nnamdi Kanu to them. Let him do any other nonsense when he comes out. I'll call the leaders in Igbo land, call all of them. Nnamdi Kanu did not do anything to deserve all this.
Can the leaders in Igbo land actually curtail any excesses that come from the actions of Nnamdi Kanu? Can they control him?
Did Nnamdi Kanu fall from the sky? Did he fall from the sky?
Does he have people that he listens to?
Even a madman. You can see violent madmen and women. You know they fall in love. You see madmen, you don't hear them. But when they are falling in love, when they see that they are lovers, they will change. They become ice water. He didn't fall from the sky. So every madman has somebody that will talk to him and he will listen.
There are people in Nnamdi Kanu listens to.
Call leaders. File a knowledge. Call leaders in Igbo land. Call leaders of thought. Bring them to the villa. Take your son. We are giving him to you. Release him. All these things happening. If not for the good governors we have in the southeast, nothing will work there. We have the best governors in the region now. I am saying it without hesitation. They are working. From Hope to OT to Mba and all that. If not, they have frustrated the economy of the place. In a year, we lost almost 7 trillion naira. But they're doing their best to put infrastructure, to empower people, and to do those things, health, education. We are people that work hard. People should stop hating us. So, the Igbo man is the easiest person to deal with if you have his code.
And what is the code of the Igbo man?
It's not for the public. You have to go ahead.
Trade and commerce. It's interesting, and if you look at the conversation I had with Governor Soludo yesterday, and he said something that the Igbo man needs to be more accommodating, that if you are an itinerant person, you cannot be seen in a certain land. But
he was saying they are not accommodating?
No.
Okay.
He was talking about how to resolving this matter, and he said his mind. But in a national security prism, how do you explain it to those who are, because you know, justice, they say, justice is not only to be served on the victim, justice to the public, justice to the person who has been prosecuted. So in that sense, there are those who have been on the receiving side of the actions. And if you look at Simon Ekpa, just a moment, sir, let me land on the thought. There are people who have been maimed and killed
by the instructions of Nnamdi Kanu.
No. So that's the question I'm asking.
That is the trajectory
just a
his
moment,
haters are pushing
forward. There are
forward.
those who will ask questions that the intent may be good, but there are opportunities who have taken advantage of it. Take, for example, someone who went to Owerri to visit a former political advisor to Ahmed Gulak, and was maimed on his way to the airport. And you look at someone like Simon Ekpa, and those who say, in the manner in which he was prosecuted in Finland, has brought some peace in the Southeast region. So from the political point of view, there is what you have said. But the security point of view, how do you deal with it?
Nnamdi Kanu has spoken about Simon Ekpa. Most of the things he did was not on his instructions. He didn't hide it, even in court. You see, when you have situations like this, you have different groups, imagine, for their own interest. I had not heard, and I did not hear from any Igbo man of substance that supported Simon Ekpa. Nnamdi Kanu has said in court, open court, get me out of here. All this nonsense going on in Igbo land, in the southeastern state, will stop. Yeah, he didn't impress anybody. He's not somebody that will chicken out or be lenient with his presentations. He's straight. When he wants to shoot, he will shoot.
He says that this is an animal kingdom. This is not a nation.
No. It's part of
some of the things that he has said.
You see, there are many people that have, I don't want to start calling names. There are people in this country who say they don't believe in Nigeria. Most of them have found themselves in cabinet. There are many people who have said all sorts of things against Nigeria. It's those of us who believe in this country till tomorrow. Even when IPOP was hot, I was on television, I said it that I am for Nigeria.
The question
a Nigeria that be fair to all.
So let me ask you, will Igbo presidency and Igbo president be a solution to this agitation?
That is not what we are saying. Let me tell you. But for how the whole thing turned around during President Buhari, I am telling you now, and don't misjudge me to say that I say we don't need presidency. The Igbo man, once you are fair to him, what you are giving, according to one of the governors, Enyendebe. That is, you give these people, you give to other people. Once you are keeping to it, Igbo man is not interested who is at the top there. But it has come to the point that they say, hey, everybody, they've gotten this. We are 3 ports at independence. Some have gone twice, gone thrice. We have not gotten it.
Do you think that we need a national reconciliation conference where the issues of Igbo land and the civil war and the aftermath needs to be addressed frontally? Do you think that politically this president can achieve that by healing the wound?
I was a member of the National Conference 2014. If President Buhari had taken the report of that conference, 620 recommendations. Unanimously passed. We won't be where we are today. President Tinubu would have been concentrating on advancing on that. But President Tinubu came back. He started from where Jonathan stopped to clean all the rubbish that was left behind, including the bastardization of the economy. I'm not speaking for him, but I'm a realist. That is the truth. The man made a battered, destroyed economy.
We're totally out of time, sir.
Okay, sorry.
Chief Dan Iwuanyanwu, thank you so much for your time tonight. Appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.
Chief Dan Iwuanyanwu is a former presidential candidate and the national chairman of the Zenith Labour Party. But that's how far we can go tonight, everyone. Many thanks for watching. I'm Sean Wakimale. God bless Nigeria.